Good day, students, and welcome back to the Metric Hub channel on the YouTube channel. As today we'll be focusing on grade 8 work, term 3's work. Remember, we did forms of ownership and entrepreneurship. So today we'll be defining sustainable job creation. Yes, what? Sustainable job creation. So guys, please like, share, and comment and go back to the video so that you can learn more and get all the basics of economics and management science. So without wasting any further time, let's define what sustainable job creation is. All right. So sustainable job creation is the process of developing employment opportunities, right? Okay, let's go step by step. Step one, what does it say? What does it mean? All right. So it says here it is the process, a way in which we develop employment opportunities. So basically, what sustainable job creation is that we create work for the people of the country. All right. We create work. So what's number one? Number one says it's the process of developing employment opportunities. Developing employment opportunities. So what does that mean? It means that we create work, right? We create work for the people of a country. Right? So sustainable job creation, number one, is that we develop employment opportunities. What does it mean? It means that we are creating work. So that's the first step, or rather the first characteristic of what sustainable job creation is. Number one is that we create work for the people of a country. All right, okay. As we move on, so now as we develop these employment opportunities, they must last for a long time. Number one, they must last for a long time, and they must provide fair income. Again, they must also contribute positively to the growth of the economy. So the second part of the definition, remember this was the first part, is to develop employment opportunities. Now what's the second part? The second part is that they must last for a long time. So these jobs must be for more than at least, they must be for more than at least 18 to 36 months or more. They must last for a long time. An example would be 18 to 36 or more months. So if employment, or rather if the work is not for more than at least 18 months, it's not sustainable because it does not create job creation in the future. All right. So they must last for a long time. An example would be from 18 to 36 or more months. And yet they must last for a long time. And then number two, they must provide fair income. Number two, this one. Number two, they must provide fair income, meaning the pay must be above the minimum wage. The pay must be above the minimum wage. The pay must be above the minimum wage. So what does that mean? It means that however amount people are getting, they must be able to sustain themselves and sustain their households, right? Sustain themselves and their what? And their families. So that's the third part. All right. The first one is that you create developing employment opportunities, you create work for the people. Number two, it must last for a long time, for a period of 18 to 36 or more months. Number three is that it must provide a fair income, meaning that it must pay above the minimum wage. Now, when we talk about minimum wage, we talk about the minimum amount of money people are getting paid so that they can sustain themselves and their families. All right. And then when we move to the fourth one, is that it must contribute positively to the growth of the economy. Meaning, let's say you are an entrepreneur or a business. So the fourth one must be of positive contribution. Must be of positive contribution. It means that you must not be selling illicit or illegal, e.g., no illegal products. Why? Because as a country, we are trying to grow. As a country, we are trying to grow. Remember, we are looking at growing economically as a country. Even though we are providing jobs, even though we are paying people, these types of jobs, they must provide or rather contribute positively to the economy of a country and the environment and the communities, as it says here, and contribute positively to the growth of the economy, the society, the people that we live, and the environment. It must not harm the people and the environment, and it must contribute positively to the growth of the economy. So that's the first part of what sustainable job creation is. So it develops employment opportunities. They must last for a long time. Remember, I said from 18 to 36 or more months. They must provide a fair income which is above the minimum wage so that people can support their families, and it must or contribute rather positively to the growth of the economy, the society, and the environment. So people must be willing to buy these products, and they must be of good, positive well-being to the people. That's the first part of what sustainable job creation is. So as we move on, it says that these jobs are not just temporary or short term. Remember our what? Our time limit. They must last for a long time, from 18 to 36 months. These jobs are not just temporary or short term, but they are designed to be ongoing, stable, and beneficial to both the workers and the communities where they exist. Okay, now let's break down those three characteristics. What do they mean when they talk about, firstly, these jobs must be what? They must be ongoing. What does it mean? They must continue. These jobs must continue for as long as possible so that they can provide people and businesses with growth that they need. Number one, they must be ongoing. Number two, these jobs must be stable, meaning they must not stop at one point to the other. They must be ongoing and stable, meaning they are not, in a sense, breakable. They must be willing to be worked every month, as to put it. So they must be stable in a sense where even if the economy crumbles, the jobs are still there, right? So the jobs must be unbreakable, as to put it. So even if the economy crumbles, even if the economy crumbles, or rather, let's say collapses, even if the economy collapses, let's say e.g. community, or rather, uh, e.g. the economy collapses. Let's say the economy collapses. The jobs are always there. E.g., even if the economy collapses, the jobs must always be there. They must be as stable as possible for the people, right? So the ongoing part rather introduces how stable the jobs must be. They must not start now and then end, start now and end. They must be unbreakable, as to put it. And again, they must be beneficial to who? Both the workers and the communities. They must be what? The third one, beneficial. What that means is that it means that basically, what are people getting from these jobs? So the question that we want to ask is, what are people getting out of these jobs? Getting out of these jobs. Remember, as we go up, we talked about things like the opportunities. What kind of opportunities are they providing? Are they beneficial? All right. And then when we talk about the fair income, are people getting money as much as they should? So that's another benefit that could come out of these jobs. Number one would be the opportunity. Number two, the income or the money that they are getting. And then is the job providing rather a positive outcome? Is the job providing a positive outcome? By that, what we mean is that we mean, are the people uh, succeeding, or rather benefiting, yes, but succeeding because of this job, or of these jobs, right? Are the people succeeding? Is the economy, or rather the community, growing? Is the environment growing? Are people getting more job opportunities or more money? So is there a positive impact in the economy, or rather in the environment of where the job is situated? So number one, if a job, or rather if a job is sustainable, it must be ongoing, it must continue. Stable, it must not collapse with the economy. Jobs must always be there. And number three is that, is it beneficial? What are the people getting out of these jobs? Are they really benefiting from this type of work that has been provided? All right. So again, as we repeated, is that these jobs are not just temporary or short term, but are designed to be ongoing, continue, stable, unbreakable, and beneficial to both the workers, so people who are working, and the community. So for instance, if we take an example of a mining company, if we take an example of a mining company in a community, mining company, and we break it down, number one, is it uh, ongoing? Number one, is it ongoing? Ongoing. You'd say yes, because mines are always there, and rather, your gold and platinums are always to be extracted from the ground. So is it ongoing? Yes. Number two, is it stable? So even if the economy has to come to a crumble, will the business succeed? Yes, because gold is not determined necessarily by how the economy goes. The country will always sell minerals, as to put it. The country will always sell. Okay, let me just put it. The country will always sell minerals. So is it stable? Yes. And then number three, is it beneficial? Is it beneficial? One, for the workers. For the workers. Is it beneficial? Number one, for the workers. So would you say that workers are benefiting from working at the mines? Even though with the health conditions and probably how dangerous it might be, people are earning accordingly. People are earning accordingly. And with that, they will be able to provide for their families. And with that, also help improve their communities by either form of investment or buying within the community, right? Investments or buying within. So if we can ask ourselves again the question, is it beneficial for the workers? Yes, it is. Because why? They earn as much money as to one, to provide for their families, number two, to improve their communities. So is it beneficial for the workers? Yes. And number two, as we are talking about providing for their families and improving the community, is it beneficial for also the community? We would also say yes. So for the community, we'd say yes. So when we look at a business like mining, we would say it is a sustainable job. So if the government were to create employment within the mining industry, we would say this is a sustainable job. Looking at our definition of what sustainable job creation is. So as we move along, looking at the characteristics now of what a sustainable job is or how they are created. All right. So sustainable jobs are created in a way that one protects the environment. So even if, like looking back at our example, mining, rather, the government wouldn't allow a business just to come and extract gold without taking into consideration, firstly, the health of the workers, the health of the community, the pollution, and the things that will happen. So there are extra precautions within that particular job. So when we look at protecting the environment, even if a mining business were to be started, it has certain implications to be protecting of the environment. So using certain legal obligations to protect the environment and the people that they are within. So is number one, mining a sustainable job? Yes, because we can protect the environment, or the mining can protect the environment using legal precautions. Number two, now, does it support local communities? As I said here, when you talk about mining, we talk about businesses where by the owners of the mine would invest in small teams, right? So let's just say here for the community, what are investments that mining companies do within the community for the community? What are investment, rather organizations or things that the mining businesses do? Number one, they can invest in local soccer teams, which is mostly done by a lot of mining companies. They invest in a lot of young and upcoming local soccer stars. Number two, they can support support local entrepreneurship. They do what? They support local entrepreneurship. Now, this is where they invest money in small businesses within the community or the environment. All right. And then thirdly, or rather lastly, let's just say what they mostly do is they will provide uh, donations to churches or local community centers. Community centers. So they'll provide donations to churches and local community centers. So by doing this, they support local communities by creating uh, such organizations to either help the young and the youth by investing in soccer, and then helping local entrepreneurs, and also donating in churches and also community centers. Number three, so how are sustainable jobs created? Or in which way they are created, ne? So these sustainable jobs should encourage small businesses. As we said before, we were talking about we were talking about they can support local entrepreneurship, meaning businesses, businesses. Upcoming what? Upcoming businesses. So when you look at it, sustainable jobs, they also encourage small businesses or business growth. That's one of them, whereby they can now give money to local entrepreneurship or give money to local businesses that are already within the particular community in order to uprise the community or to boost the economy of the community. And then fourthly, okay, minds could build the economy without damaging future job opportunities. They can build the economy without damaging future job opportunities, meaning even though there will be at some point AI or artificial intelligence or your fourth revolutionary industry, there will always be work for people within the mining industry because it will take years, rather say, it will take years for certain companies to come with technology that can extract gold. So when you talk about longevity of the mining industry, longevity of the mining industry is that one, there will always be jobs. There will always be jobs. And number two, for developing countries, it will take years to come up with technological advances. It will take years to come up with technological advances. All right. It will take years to come up with technological advances to extract the gold. All right. It will take years for certain countries, like for instance, South Africa, to come up with those particular. So in that case, as we or as a country for starting a mining company, it builds or it has the potential to build the economy without damaging any future jobs because people will always have jobs. All right, so that's the whole definition of what a sustainable job creation looks like. When we are creating jobs for people that are sustainable, that will be there for a very long time, and that will also be growing the economy and not rather harm people or communities or businesses. So as we move along, it also states here, it also includes creating jobs that offer number. So creating a business that is sustainable or creating job creation, rather sustainable job creation. One, there must be decent working conditions. As we said, when we talk about mining, there are certain legal obligations that a company must follow. So without following these particular legal obligation, the mine will not be open. So when you talk about a mining company, a mining company, there are certain legal obligations that will allow them or that will create a decent working conditions according to that particular industry. Legal obligations. There are certain things that should be followed before opening this particular business. And there will be opportunities for skills development because not only, or rather, not only people will be working underground, but there will be other job opportunities for, rather say, office improvement. Then you get your managers, your mine managers, and then you get your archaeologists. You get people like that who will now see to it that there are paperwork or paper trails that will make sure that this particular mining company is succeeding. So when you talk about opportunities for skills development, so Okay, let's rather put it here. So number one, decent working conditions. Let's say here, okay, here. Number one, decent working conditions. It's legal obligations to be followed. There are certain legal obligations to be followed as a mining company, right? And then number two, when we talk about opportunities for skills development, right? People won't be stuck underground, meaning there will be people who will now be improved. So if you want to go to training to improve your skills to become a manager of a mine, it will be available to your disposal. Ne? So improving your training. So a mining company will offer such opportunities. Number three, job security and fair wages. As I said, because of the hardness of the hardships of where people work in a mining industry, because of the hardships, one, there's always safety gear. So there are certain safety measurements that are put into action or into place, right? Certain, there are certain safety measurements that are put into place so that they can ensure that the employees are not suffering or they're not facing any rather damaging or however the business may protect their own employees. And then it says here job security and fair wages. Now, when we talk about fair wages, we talk about the compensation or the money that they get according to the jobs they are doing. Compensation. So, mine workers are compensated to their, or rather their level of work, their level of work. So what this means is that whatever rather disadvantages that this job comes with, that the mining job comes with, they will get a certain percentage, or rather they'll get compensated or paid fairly because of what they might be going through. So mine workers are compensated to or for their struggles rather. For their struggles. So what this means is that these mines will protect their own employees. Mine workers are compensated for their struggles because of how dangerous the job may be. So they'll get paid. So number one, decent working conditions. There will be legal obligations to such. Number two, opportunities for skills development. People will not only be mine workers, there will be other opportunities as to become mine managers and so forth. And then again, job security and wages. There will be certain safety measurements put into place. But again, because of the dangerous work that these miners do, they'll get compensated accordingly. They'll get compensated accordingly. So it says here, sustainable job creation is especially important in South Africa, where many people are unemployed, and the focus is on building a future where everyone has the chance to work, support their families, and help grow the country. So what it means is that in a country like South Africa, where it is developing, so having a job creations which are sustainable, which are long lasting, which pay fair, which ensure the safety and the security of employees. It's very important so that the country of the economy can grow, so that we can move from a developing country to rather a developed country. So it's important as a country to create sustainable jobs for our people. All right. So that is what job or rather sustainable job creation is about. And then as we move on to the next page, now we talk about the role or forms of ownership in sustainable. Remember, as I said, guys, go back and watch the videos. There you will learn more about the forms of ownership. I did discuss, or rather, we did discuss the forms of ownership. We did discuss entrepreneurship and the different forms, rather your public versus your private companies. So go back and watch the video so that you can know more of what the whole topic is about. So now we move on to the role of forms of ownership in sustainable job creation. So what are the roles of the forms of ownership? Remember, we talked about all those forms of ownership: your sole trader, your partnership, your closed corporation, private company, and your public company. So what are their roles in creating a sustainable job? So it says here different forms of ownership, such as sole traders, partnerships, companies, and cooperatives, etc., play an important role in creating jobs that last. Remember, your characteristics of what a sustainable job creation should be, that your jobs should last, right? Why is it so? So they must create these jobs that last so that they can grow the economy, one, and improve to the quality of life in South Africa. As you go back, it says here that sustainable job creation is especially important in South Africa where many people are unemployed. So for us to improve the quality of life so that people go from being unemployed to employed, it's very important that within these forms of ownership, these companies create jobs that last so that the company, or rather the economy, could grow and improve this, what? The quality of life in South Africa. So we're going, or rather we move from unemployment so that we can move from unemployment to employment. So we decrease our unemployment percentages, right? So again, it says that each type of business ownership contributes to sustainable job creation in a unique way. So how does it contribute to? So rather, as a sole trader, how would you contribute to a sustainable job creation? As a partnership, as a cooperative, as a closed co, and so forth and so forth, right? So number one, we'll be looking at a sole trader. How, or rather, okay. Yeah. Okay. So how does a sole trader contribute to the sustainable job creation of a country? All right. Number one, as a sole trader, you can create jobs for individuals who starts, okay, creating jobs for individuals who start small businesses using their own skills, like hairdressers, plumbers, and okay. So what basically means is that the government will invest. Where invest by creating jobs in the for individuals who start small businesses. So who are these people who start small businesses? These are your hairdressers, your plumbers, your street vendors. These are basically businesses that are they are public, and rather anyone can start them. So the government will then invest a certain amount of money into these particular people or persons so that they can start these businesses. And it also goes there to say often these people employ their family members or community workers. How is it part of sustainable job creation? Remember when we were talking about the improvement of the community and rather the members of your family, rather working with the people who are close to you. So rather this shows another characteristics of what? Of sustainable job creation, to employ family members or community. So the government will invest money for these individuals to start these businesses. How do they then help their communities, or how do they then help the people surrounding them? By invest, or rather employing them, by rather employing them and giving them a certain amount of money. And by doing that, remember, we want to reduce unemployment. By doing that, we then reducing unemployment. We no longer have one person who owns a business, but now we have certain, rather one person, and then who employs other people within their community and their surrounding. All right. Number three, as a sole trader, you can help reduce unemployment, as I said, by encouraging self-employment into others. So firstly, you can employ other people, or rather the second one, you can also encourage what? You can encourage self-employment. So you tell people, or rather you motivate people to start their own companies. Rather, motivate people to start their own companies. So that's the third way or third characteristics on how a sole trader could rather uh, how they could the characteristics of how they could sustain job creations, how they can help sustain job creations. Number three is to help reduce unemployment by encouraging others. Firstly, they can employ, but then they can encourage others or motivate people to start their own companies. And then the fourth one, although small, these businesses can grow and hire more people, especially. So what it basically means, as a sole trader, you can either hire or help motivate others to start their own businesses. Through what? Through the investment of government or other government subsidies. So the government can help you as a sole trader to, one, hire other people, or to employ other people and encourage other small businesses within your community to grow and hire more people. So the more you hire more people, the more businesses are being started, the more economy grows as a whole. So these are the characteristics of how a sole trader can create sustainable job creation. And then as we move along, your partnership. So remember, a partnership, it's a business that is derived out of two or more 50 um, business partners. They are not shareholders, they are not members, but rather they are partners within a business. So how can a partnership rather help in creating a sustainable job creation? So as it says here, um, in a partnership, two or more people combine their skills and resources to start a business. So basically, that's the whole definition of what a partnership is. So it's two or more people, up to 50 people or partners. Right? How can they create rather a sustainable job creation? They can create jobs by expanding faster than a sole trader. So here, remember that a sole trader can get some investment from either the government or the people from their own family. But now here, they have the ability to hire a certain amount of people, even though it's a positive outcome in the community or rather in the environment. What happens to now a partnership is that they can create jobs by expanding faster than a sole trader. So they expand faster than a sole trader due to shared capital and resources. So if here as a sole trader you start a business worth of, say your business is worth 10,000. In a partnership now, you can start a business that's worth 20,000. So now that shows two or double the amount of growth that can happen between your sole trader and your partnership. So now it says that again, it creates job by expanding faster. So it expands faster than a sole trader. So it's not that it's not encouraged to start a sole trader, but rather a partnership, it can expand more faster than a sole trader. And then due to what? The shared capital and ideas. It's no longer one person or rather one hairdresser who comes with ideas, but rather two people who combine ideas. And then the third one is that in a partnership, or rather, partnership helps with skills development, as partners can train employees. Again, two times. So in a sole trader, it's more of like an entrepreneur, where the business owner the business owner becomes the company owner and becomes the only person to run the business. But in a partnership now, you can have a person who runs the business, one who runs the business, and the one who can train employees. So now you have two people who are doing two different jobs within one company. The one will do the running of the business and the one will do the training. So as it says, it helps with skills development as partners can train employees. So the other one can train and the other one can grow the business. And then the last one, the fourth one, it says that in a partnership, or rather, a partnership encourages business growth in sectors like law, medicine, and accounting. So instead of just being a hairdresser, a plumber, and a street vendor as a sole trader, you can venture into business with someone and start rather a company, or not rather a small company, but a large or big company, which can come from, or rather by creating things like, rather creating businesses like law, medicine, and accounting. So even if you are not a lawyer, even if you are not a doctor, even if you are not an accountant, if you can find a partner that is more viable within that particular sector, right? So again, it says it encourages business growth in sectors like law. Let's say you are not a lawyer, but you have someone who knows law, someone who is a lawyer, and then you venture into the partnership, you can now start rather a law firm. But if you're a sole trader and you don't know anything about law, you cannot start such a business because now you'll be only focused on what you know as a sole trader. So you'll be focusing on your sole trading. But in a partnership, you can venture with other people, including sectors like law, medicine, and accounting. So basically, that's the first part of sustainable job creation. So the first one was to define what sustainable job creation is, and now we look at the role that the forms of ownership have within sustainable job creation. So number one being your sole trader, and then number two being your partnership, and then we'll carry more with your companies, your cooperatives, your closed corporations, and private and public companies, and so forth. So please, guys, tune in for the next video so that we will be sharing, or so rather, we'll be sharing such information, such vital information for you guys to be learning for the September exams and tests and so forth. So without wasting any further time, guys, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.